Hi, welcome to Diamond Custom Paint Shop. This is part 2 in a series of the bobber videos. In the last video, we sprayed epoxy primer, which you can see on this here is epoxy primered. We sprayed that right over bare metal. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and look for part 1 of the bobber series, and you'll be able to see me mix that and spray that epoxy primer. In this video, we're going to go ahead and build on top of the epoxy primer. We're going to go ahead with some just regular primer surfacer. And then once we put the primer surfacer on there, that'll allow us to really, smooth that out, and we'll show that process in the video following this one. That'll be a part 3, so stay tuned for that video coming in the next few days there. We'll do the video of me actually sanding down the primer to make it nice and smooth for our first base coat, which is going to be black. So, all right. So this is the primer I'm going to be using is LimeLine's Primer Surfacer. I can see here it's a 2-part system. You can see it's a part A and a part B, which means you're going to mix both of these together at a certain ratio. Just kind of like a 2K clear, and how we did the epoxy primer, all 2 parts to them. On this particular primer, if you look on the can, it's a 2-to-1 mixture, which means you're going to do 2 parts of part A and 1 part of part B, which is the activator. I'm going to mix probably about 16 ounces. I have here taped off the 2-to-1 slot here, just so we don't get mixed up when we're pouring it, and so you can kind of see it. So if I'm going to do about 16 ounces, I'll just kind of follow over, and that's going to be about, by the time I put the part A and the part B in, I'm going to be up to about 15 ounces, and then I'm going to add a little bit of reducer to it too to thin it out a little bit to help it spray out nice and smooth. So, and I'll probably add 10% of that. So by the time we get up there, as you can see, I'll be right up there at about 16 ounces. So, all right, well, let's get to mixing this up. And then after I mix this, I'll cut to a video of me spraying it on real fast. I'll probably end up doing 3 coats of this and then letting it dry overnight. And then we'll come back the next day tomorrow and start sanding her down. So, yeah, let's get to mixing here. So we're going to grab our part A. And I shook this up a little bit before I took the lid off. I don't know if it's necessary, but it's just kind of a habit I have. I kind of shook it a few times, kind of getting everything mixed up. Do our little tape funnel here. Okay, so let me grab my glasses here. And so we're going to go up to that first 3 right there with the part A. And I believe this LimeLine primer is more along the lines closer to a high build primer. We'll find out once we spray it here. And we're almost there. And there we go. We'll set that off to the side here. And we're going to get our part B and fill it up to the next 3, which is right here. If you're wondering, I can see through this. This cup is clear, so I can see the numbers through the cup this way. And that's the way I kind of like to do it, because as you can see, as you use these cups, they get pretty dirty, and it's kind of hard to see from the outside, but on the inside, they're always clean, so you can see pretty good the numbers on the inside. There's that 3 there. And on this cup, it actually has a 10% mark right there, which I'll fill up with the reducer to that point. Okay, so we added our part A and our part B, and we're just going to add a little reducer, 10%. And I'll be using a 1.4 tip. There we go, just 10%. I'll be using a 1.4 tip spray gun to spray this out. Go ahead and give this a good mix. Make sure you mix this up really good. As you'll see when you start mixing, it's pretty thick, so make sure you mix it all good, all the stuff off the bottom and the sides there. So on the instructions here, while I'm mixing this, I'll just kind of read it off here. Like it says, it's 2 parts, part A, 1 part B, and then you can add 10% urethane reducer, which we did. And then on the application, 2 to 3 coats with 10 to 15 minutes flash time in between coats. That's because we're dealing with the 2-part system here, so you have to give it time to do that chemical reaction. It's ready for sanding after 12 hours, so which will be plenty of time by the time I come back. Probably about the same time tomorrow to sand. I'll have plenty of time to dry. All right, there we go. Then you'll use your cup with your liner and your retaining ring, and then you'll be ready to go. All right, we're gonna cut to me spraying these parts. At least you'll get to see 1 or 2 of them being sprayed. And yeah, we'll see you in a minute. All right, well, there you go. There's LimeLine's primer. As you can see, it sprays on really nice. I did 3 coats, and the coverage is really good. I'm really satisfied with the coverage of it. It does look like it's more on the high build type of primer. I'll have to ask Adam to see if it is in fact a high build primer, but it built up, looks like pretty good. We'll know more when we start sanding in the next episode. So yeah, this was part 2 of a series that I'm calling Bobber series. We're going to take this motorcycle from start to finish, custom paint job. So stay tuned for the part 3, which will be probably it'll be the next video, but we're going to let this dry overnight, and we'll probably get after it tomorrow and start sanding down. Now I'm going to use this guide coat here to spray on the parts first. Then I'll use some 600 grit sandpaper to really get these parts really smooth, ready for the first base coat. It's really important to, at this stage right now, is where you want everything real nice and smooth, because if you're doing mostly darker colors on your parts, you'll see it if it's not perfectly smooth. So yeah, we're going to make sure, you know, all of our edges and everything's nice and smooth. So stay tuned for part 3. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to it. Excuse me. So I'll see you on the next one.